Last week, Father Fred spoke about the benefits of the first disciples going out 2 by 2. Today's gospel brought me back to that message and as it connects to our salvation and a previous experience I had a few years ago. Back in 2010, I had gone to Rome for meetings on Father Peyton's cause for sainthood. And I arrived one day before Father Jim Phelan. So unlike the disciples, I was traveling alone. But everything went fine during the day, even the evening when I went out to dinner by myself, until about 10:30 or 11 at night, when I returned to the monastery where I was staying. By the way, I don't speak any Italian. So as I approached the 30-foot high iron gate, my heart sank. The gate had been chained and padlocked. And to make matters worse, I didn't have a phone number to call anyone inside of the monastery. Just like in the gospel story, I searched for a way in. I called out to the priest that I could see up on the 3rd and 4th floor behind their windows. You're probably used to people on Saturday nights yelling. I couldn't get their attention. So I did what any kid from a city does. I circled the property, looking for a lower wall to climb. I checked all the windows and doors to see if they were unlocked, or at least loose. And after what seemed like an eternity, many trips around that monastery, I realized my mistake. I'd gone to the wrong part of the gate. You see, there was a general entrance that was padlocked and chained for after hours. And then there was a small entrance that opened with the key that Father Innocence had given me. That's his real name, Father Innocence. Yes, the gate was narrow, but my mistake was that I hadn't paid close enough attention to its location. The darkness and my attempt to solve this problem alone caused me not to see this narrow gate. Ironically, I had the key that opened the gate to this holy place, but in the darkness, with anxiety and discouragement, I couldn't use it. At different times, we can swing between the two poles when it comes to believing in Jesus' promise that he has saved us. On one end is presumption. That is the belief that because Jesus has won eternal life for us, we can live on cruise control when it comes to living his gospel message every day. And at the other end is despair, believing that we are irredeemable for some reason, and that there is no reason to believe that we can make it through that narrow gate that Jesus talks about today. My brothers and sisters, Jesus was trying to help his first listeners, and now us, understand the need for strength to remain on the right path to heaven, that it's not easy. And so each one of us needs the grace of God. And we know there are many gates or doors that we walk through in our lives, and at times we get lost. We get discouraged or worried when we take our eyes off of Jesus. And this is when our family and friends can help us, and at times we're called to help them. For Jesus tells us that he is the way and the truth and the life. To make it through today, tomorrow, and eventually that narrow gate to heaven, it all begins with keeping our eyes fixed on the cross of Jesus. And it continues as we receive the sacraments, the instruments of our salvation. And it continues and is strengthened through our prayer. That's how we get closer to the narrow gate each day, not alone, but with the light of Christ and all those he places in our lives.